Texas. McClosky, her career best is a 9.875. She's done that twice. Here she goes. First run.
She does a layout Tsukahara. She does a good job at executing the layout position in this vault.
Now, LSU already has a 9.075, so they've had one bad vault, so they need everybody else to hit.
This is true. Here she comes going onto the horse. A good block off the horse or push off the horse. Great execution of the layout. And just a slight hop on the dismount. Here you see the angle in which she comes onto the horse. She gets a good push. She drives the chest backwards in the stretch layout position and lands.
9.7 is the score for Amy McClosky.
This vault is valued at a 9.8, so she only got a 10th deduction. What she'll be thinking about now is sticking the vault, having an absolutely motionless landing.
You saw head coach Dee Breaux, her team plagued by falls early in this meet.
She gets a good run. Again, oh, and she sticks it this time.
Should be a little bit better.
I think so. Let's see if the judges will think so, though. She gets good speed onto the horse. And watch this block off the horse. She pushes through the shoulders, drives the chest backwards, beautiful straight position, and an awesome landing. Here you see the good approach onto the horse. She hits the board, drives the heels, pulls the chest again, and very nice.
9.75 for McClosky. Chrissy Van Fleet, she got a 9.250. We're coming back to Gainesville, Florida. Stay with us. Chrissy Van Fleet of Florida, not up to her norm. I'm Chris Marlowe along with Kim Anthony. And here is Florida's Sybil Stevenson, a 5'5" senior from Alexandria, Virginia. Bars specialist this year. She got a career 9.925. Good bars worker.
Now, Sybil anchored the Gators on bars at last year's NCAA championships, clinching a spot for the Gators to advance to the Super 6 competition by scoring a 9.9. Giant full. Ginger. Nice release move there. Notice Sybil has very good form. You see the knees tight together. She has a small form break. She does a full twisting Healy as she straddle back. Sets up for the dismount. Double tuck flyaway.
Oh! Oh, what a routine. Sybil Stevenson, one of the taller gymnasts in the competition at 5'5". Height didn't hurt her there.
I don't think so. Here's the release move here. She does a Ginger. She gets a great amount of height on that move, which is exactly what the judges wants to see. And on the dismount, she gets a nice, safe, and perfect landing.
There is Judy Markell, the two-time National Coach of the Year in 1992 and 1994. Last year, Markell named the Southeastern Conference Coach of the Year before coming to Florida 18 years at Penn State. Let's go over to the vault. This is Carrie Descalopoulos from LSU. Carrie is a 4'10" sophomore from Marietta, Georgia.
Carrie will be performing a handspring front hike, valued at a 9.9. Oh.
She takes a fall off the stumble.
Well, actually, I think the judges will only take a hand placement there. She may get a 3/10 deduction. She comes into the horse, gets a great block, pulls the chest forward, drives the heels, and goes a little bit too far as she rotates forward. It'll be interesting to see whether the judges count that as a fall or just a hand touch.
Stevenson, a 9.8 on the bars. So a good score for Sybil Stevenson. The score for Carrie Descalopoulos, 9.25. So second vault coming up. Interestingly, her career best is a 9.975. The second highest vault in LSU history. The great Jennifer Wood had 9 perfect 10s in her career. So
wow.
Here's the second attempt.
She decides to overcompensate that time, and she opens up a little too soon, which causes her to stumble backwards. But I think she may score better on this vault.
I agree.
She's really concentrating on getting a good block off the horse, driving the heels, pulling the chest forward, and looking for the landing. She opens up a little bit too soon and isn't able to get the height that she needs to complete the vault.
Awaiting the LSU score, 9.55. And remember, that score will count because Kelly Smith had a 9.075 earlier in the rotation. Let's go back to the bars now. Betsy Hamm on bars. Betsy Hamm is a 5-foot freshman from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Dad, a gymnastics teacher. Has a couple of younger brothers. Morgan and Paul are currently ranked very high in United States junior gymnastics. She's been taught well. Let's see what she can do.
Well, she has a career high of 9.875 on this event, so this should be a very good routine. Jaeger there, great height. She's swinging very well. She does a double tuck flyway.
Oh, yeah.
Very clean routine for Florida. This is exactly what they need after having that fall earlier.
She just graduated from high school in December, and she enrolled here in Gainesville in January. She's been a welcome addition to the team.
Yeah, she came 8 months early. Here's the dismount. She sets up for the double tuck, and she looks for the landing, and it's perfect. No deductions there.
All right, we're going to take a short time out. We'll come back and finish up rotation number 2 right after this. Looking at LSU's Stephanie Hyatt, 5'1" sophomore from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Stephanie will be performing a handspring front pike vault, valued at a 9.9.
9.875 for Betsy Hamm on bars.
Good block. Good landing for Stephanie. Slightly over-rotated. And now we'll wait to see if she will be doing her handspring front pike with a half the next vault. That's probably what they're discussing right now. They want to see how she feels, probably see how she scores, and then make the decision.
9.75 on her first vault.
She gets a good run into the horse, good block, pushes the shoulders, drives the heels, and over-rotates the landing slightly.
She's been vaulting well. She had a 10 last year against Illinois Chicago and a season-best 9.850 last week in the Centenary meet. So getting a little encouragement from her coach, Dee Breaux. Kind of interesting how the LSU coaches do it. Dee Breaux stands at the front of the run. She gives encouragement going down, and at the other end is assistant coach Jeff Thompson.
It's like a tag team match.
Exactly, exactly. Get going, and then when you get back, Jeff will tell you what you did right or wrong.
There you go. Okay, this time I do believe she will perform the handspring front pike with a half twist, valued at a 10.0.
Stephanie Hyatt, second vault. LSU could really use this.
Good block. She executes it, and she makes it around to her feet.
Pretty good.
Pretty good for Stephanie. Good job. All right, as she's coming into the horse, she's thinking about the block. She doesn't get as high as she should, so she has a rather low landing there, but she manages to pull it around to her feet. Here you see the block. She needs to drive the heels just a little bit more, and I believe that she would have a much better vault.
Took the step on the landing, but still a 9.825 for her.
So it was worth doing that new vault.
So that completes the vault rotation for LSU. Gabby Fuchs, the final performer on bars for Florida. Florida's had one low score, and that was Chrissy Van Fleet's 9.250. So Fuchs, needs the hit.
Now, Gabby was a member of Great Britain's national team and the first alternate to represent Great Britain at the 1996 Olympic Games. Giant full pirouette. Reverse heck, and she gets airtime there. Very nice swing so far this routine. She does a 1.5 twist there. Begins to set up for the dismount. She does toe front with the half. Just a little bit of a stumble there on the landing, but I think the Gators will take that.
She is a well-liked person. She's got an interesting name for when she does a bad routine. She calls it a wonky routine, or a very poorly performed routine. This was anything but wonky.
Oh, I'll agree with that. That was the reverse hecht, and you saw how high she got over the bar. The dismount is a toe-on front somersault with a half twist. Just had a little problem getting it all the way around, so that caused her to stumble a little bit.
So the scores on the uneven bars for Florida. Once again, in the third slot, Chrissy Van Fleet with a 9.250, waiting for Fuchs. So 4 solid scores there, and we expect Fuchs to be in that range.
And that 9.25 for Van Fleet will hurt her in the all-around.
Absolutely. Once again, 6 performers go, but you can only use 5 scores, so you need 5 good ones.
Right.
Coach liked it. Judy Markell giving a hub to Gabby Fuchs. The question is, will the judges hug her with a nice score?
Now, because of that score from Van Fleet, Florida really needs to have this last routine hit.
9.875 for Fuchs. So that ties her career high set last week against North Carolina State. We'll come back. Florida and LSU. LSU, the all-around standings. A mild surprise. Stephanie Hyatt in first place, followed by Erica Selga, Amy McClosky, Colleen Barger, and Chrissy Van Fleet. Moments ago, Erica Selga's routine on beam.
Now, Erica was off to a good start in this routine. She had a very solid performance here. Back handspring, back layout, step out. Good landing there. She gets down onto the beam. Shows a little diversity there. She does a full twisting gainer layout somersault, and she scored a 9.75.
Keep in mind, she is in second place. That was moments ago. And then Stephanie Hyatt on the floor. Our leader, her first tumbling pass.
She does a double back pike somersault. She steps out of bounds, which is a 1/10 deduction, which brought her score down to a 9.65.
There is Stephanie Hyatt. Let's go over to the beam and pick up Florida's Susan Hines. Her beam work, 9.875 last week. Great attitude. 100% positive all the time, says her coach, Judy Markell.
Now, Susan placed 7th in the NCAA beam finals last year, earning her All-American honors on this event. She mounted with a front tuck somersault. Nice start. Now, some of you may wonder how they're able to learn these difficult skills on the beam. It's done in progression. First, they start off on the floor, executing the skill on a line, and once that's mastered, they move on to a low beam and steadily work their way to the high beam, which is what you're seeing now. Switch legs, split leap, straddle jump. That is a gymnastics series, putting 2 leaps together, which is a requirement for the balance beams routine. Susan looks very confident up there. Little slight wobble there.
Does a wobble cost you?
It costs you a little bit. No more than a tenth. And that might have just been 500 of a tenth. She mounts with a punch front, full twisting layout somersault.
The routine of Susan Hines, the junior from Austin, Texas. As she talks to her coach, take a look at this little wobbly bobble.
She does a switch side leap, and she has just a little tiny bobble. But she's able to pull it back strong here. She does a punch front layout full somersault. Good finish.
One of the reasons the Gators have improved this year, their renovation of their gymnastics facility. They added a large foam pit and a trench bar to allow the Gators to work on their difficulty a little more easily. Abby Burns on the floor for LSU, 1997 academic All-America. Interestingly, the combined GPA for LSU is amazing, 3.5 for the members of the Tigers.
Abby mounts with a whip through to a double back somersault. She almost steps out of bounds there, but she manages to save it. Handspring front 1.5 twist, also known as a Rudy. Abby's style and pizzazz brought crowds to their feet last year as she scored over 9-9 on this event.
Of course, remember, all the disciplines have been toughened up this year, so the scores are much harder to come by. Her best this year, 9.9.
Now, in the floor routines, the gymnast must show a versatile use of the entire floor area.
Susan Hines on the beam, 9.850. Great score for her.
She sets up for her last tumbling pass. She has a bit of a long pause there, trying to catch her breath. She does front layout, front tuck.
Nice routine.
Very nice. She does have lots of energy and pizzazz.
And she's got a lot of stamina. She was a cross-country runner in high school. Now a kinesiology major. She can hum.
Let's look at this first pass. Round off, whip back, back handspring, double tuck somersault, and watch this, almost out of bounds, but she can feel exactly where she is, and she doesn't let that happen. Now here we go for the last pass. She is winded in this routine. Takes a lot of effort. Front layout, punch front. Great finish, and she does a little bounce here and tops it off.
So Abby Burns trying to punch up a big score on the floor for LSU. Susan Hines, once again, her score 9.850. Obviously happy with that routine. We're going to come back to Gainesville, Florida. We'll have more. Kim Anthony back in Gainesville. There is Chrissy Van Fleet getting set, loosening up for her beam routine. How nervous do you get before you go on beam?
I think quite nervous. You're only working with 4 inches there, and it takes a lot of intense concentration in order to stay on.
Abby Burns was stuck in her score 9.8 on floor. Great score for her.
Now, the ability to maintain good posture is key in this event. The goal is to keep the center of gravity over the beam at all times. Back handspring layout, step out. No deductions there. And one of the techniques often used to stay on the beam is keeping the eyes focused on the end of the beam as much as possible. She does a punch front tuck somersault. That has been the only noticeable wobble in her routine. The required full turn. And probably now what she's thinking about it is taking it home. She's gotten all of her difficult skills out of the way, and she just needs to concentrate on that dismount. Switch side. She does a round off double tuck somersault, and she nails it. Chrissy Van Fleet. Now her career high on this event is a 9.875. Now here's the only deduction that I could see in the routine. Punch front tuck. Her front foot slips off, but she is able to pull it back on and have a strong finish with this round off double tuck somersault with a perfect landing.
She likes it. Chrissy Van Fleet. That was a big routine. Keep in mind that Gabby Fuchs hit a 9.275, so all routines count now for Florida. LSU has been very, very good on the floor so far. 9.925 for Chrissy Van Fleet, a new career high. Stacy Wegner now on floor.
Now her coaches says she has enough raw talent and determination to become not only a consistent performer, but for LSU, a national competitor. With back to the double pike. A bit of a low landing there. Sets up for the second tumbling pass, handspring front layout, front layout. Two difficult skills in a row. Now the routine must contain two different tumbling passes, and one of these passes must have two saltos. She has a little chance to play with the audience there. Round up split jump back handspring with a half turn. Okay, now she begins to set up for her last tumbling pass. Time to take it home. And she ends with a double full twist. That's a nice strong ending for LSU. And that's a score that they're going to need.
Oh yeah. She had her career best last week at 9.925. I don't know if she'll quite get those marks here, but...
Okay, let's take a look at this first tumbling pass here. She does a round off, whip back handspring, into a double pike somersault, which is a difficult thing to do. Her knees were slightly bent there and had a little bit of a low landing.
We'll get Wegner's score when we come back. Florida, and there is the 5-foot freshman from Waukesha, Wisconsin, Betsy Hamm.
Betsy sat in on the first two practices in her leotard, but was not allowed to practice until the third day.
Wegner get a 9.825 for her floor routine.
Betsy is ranked 6th in the nation on this event, with a career high of 9.9. Switch straddle leap, beautifully done. Now the margin for error is so narrow on this event that even a head movement is sometimes enough to throw the gymnast off. Back handspring, layout, step out.
Beautiful.
Straddle jump, straddle jump. Good save there. Now, beam is an event where concentration is very important. The gymnast needs to block out everything that's going on.
Wow.
That was pretty nice, huh?
That's a tough maneuver, yes.
There's that gator chomp. Back handspring, double touch somersault.
Well done. I'm told that there's a gator chomp in every single gymnast routine. A little part of the choreography. Florida has only had one low score on beam, and that was Fuchs at 9.275. All the other routines have been solid.
Here she does a straddle jump and a half turning straddle jump. Actually, maybe a 3/4 turning straddle jump.
So Florida performing well. Florida getting out early in the first rotation and taking advantage. So Florida was on vault early. And LSU had problems on the vault. They fell twice. And that really cost them. Amy McClosky on floor for LSU.
Amy is an All-American on this event. She opens with a double pike. Looks pretty easy for Amy. She is ranked 4th in the nation on this event. She does back-to-back tumbling passes, and she competes another double pike.
Betsy Hamm, a 9.875. Another good score for Florida.
Really showing her versatility in the dance. Round-off split jump back handspring. A gymnastics acro series. And again, a gymnastics acro series combines gymnastics elements with acrobatic elements. Here's the last tumbling pass. She ends with a double full. LSU needs that routine. An excellent performance.
Amy McClosky. Betsy Hamm once again 9.875. So Florida performing near flawlessly on the beam. Let's take a look at McCloskey's first tumbling run.
Here we go. She does quite a few elements in this pass. She does round off and whip back, 2 back handsprings, into a double pike somersault. Beautiful landing there. And on her second pass, which is right after the first, she does a round off back handspring, double pike. Her knees are slightly bent on the double pike, so the judges will deduct for that.
All right, Florida looking good. 9.9 for McClosky. It may be too little, too late. We'll come back. We'll have more after this.
The Ford Agency. For 50 years, the source for top model talent. Here.
Chris Marlowe and Kim Anthony back at the Southeastern Conference Showcase. We're at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida. And right now, the Florida Gators with a near 2.5-point lead on the LSU Tigers. Amy McClosky has the lead at 29.350. Erica Selga in second. Hyatt third, Van Fleet and Barger. Here is Kim Descalopoulos, the 4'11 sophomore from Marietta, Georgia, on beam.
Kim has a career high of 9.825 on this event. She looks to be a little bit cautious here. Really focusing on the end of the beam and concentrating on keeping her center of gravity over the beam as she does the back handspring, layout, step out. She does a little on the beam work there. She does a half-turn wolf jump. You can see the caution as she works through this routine. She's not doing her jumps full out. She needs to get higher on the jumps and have a little more confidence. She does a 1.5 twisting layout, a Rudy for the dismount. She manages to stay on the beam. She's executing a back handspring. Now watch the legs here. Just a slight bending, and in the layout, good landing. And on the dismount, she will do a front aerial with a 1.5 twist called a Rudy. Good finish there.
So we await the score for Kim Descalopoulos. She's got a twin sister, Carrie, of course. And the Gator fans whooping it up. The Gators have all but clinched the team competition. The only thing in doubt now is the all-around.
Next up for the Gators in the floor exercise, let's hear for Teal Shaboti.
Here comes Teal Shaboti, the 5-foot freshman from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Teal has a career high of 9.825 on this event. And Teal considers both the balance beam and the floor exercise as her best events. Very dramatic music here. She opens with a fly half into a front fold.
Descalopoulos got a 9.75 for her beam work.
Second pass is a double tuck somersault. And she executes that skill very well.
How long can a floor routine be?
Well, the floor routine is usually between 1 minute 10 seconds and 1 minute 30 seconds.
Too tiring to go any longer than that?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though it's such a short period of time, your skills are so high in intensity, it's very difficult to last much longer than 1 minute 30. She prepares for the last tumbling pass, handspring, fly spring, punch front.
She was the valedictorian of her high school class at Palmer High School in Arizona. 4.0. Grade point average.
Let's take a look at the second pass here. She does a round off back handspring double tuck somersault. Very good landing there. Very confident landing as well.
We're going to give you Teal's score when we come back. The Gators are chomping away here in Gainesville. Here is Stacy Wegner on the beam, 5'5" sophomore. Her career best 9.875 last year against Alabama. She's been a little shaky on the beam this year. She's had 4 poor scores in the last 6 meets.
Very nice tumbling pass. That was a back handspring layout.
It's easy to quickly lose your confidence on the beam, isn't it?
It is.
Whoop. Ah.
Oh. Now, some people may wonder why she's able to do a tumbling pass like that and then fall on a leap. Now, remember, the beam is 4 inches wide and the margin of error is so small. She does a standing front tuck somersault there, which is very difficult to do. It takes a lot of power through the legs. Wolf jump, back handspring. As I said before, even the tiniest little motion can throw the gymnast off on this event. Back handspring, full. She looks slightly disappointed there.
Yeah, tough routine for LSU Stacy Wegner.
In the dismount here, she does a back handspring 2 times and does a full twisting layout somersault.
Fifth in the 92 Nationals. Still pressure in every meet for these women.
Now, one thing she will go home and work on is continuing to do that dance skill until she can make it without any problems.
Here is Erica Selga from West Palm Beach, Florida. She's a 5'2" senior. Florida has scored over 49 points in the first 3 disciplines. When they set their season and school record of 197-10 against Kentucky, they scored over 49 in all routines. They could be on a 196 pace in this meet. So here's Erica Selga. Good tumbler, clean dancer. Let's see what she can do.
Now, Erica is the oldest member of the team. She has a nickname of Grandma. Now, in these routines, you can really see the personality of the gymnasts come out as they dance. Front through to round off, back handspring, double tug. Great opening pass for Erica. Rush in front handspring, front fall. Just a little off at the ending there. Her music is a Janet Jackson medley.
You like it?
I like it. Some good music there. She gets the crowd into the routine. She's gearing up to do her last tumbling pass. And it does help to create a little bit of excitement before you get ready to do this last thing. She's taking a little time to breathe, gather all of her strength. She ends with a double twist. Erica Selga.
Fine routine for her. Let's duck in a score. Wegner got a 9.275 on her beam routine as we go back to the final pass here.
Here she's doing a back handspring into a double twist. She performs it very well. Nice tight body and nice clean landing.
Let's duck in one more score. Teal Shaboti, a 9.825 on her floor routine. All right, we're coming back. We'll give you Selga's score when we return. She likes it. Did the judges? Big disadvantages for the visiting gymnastics team is you have to finish on beam, by far the toughest event. Here is Abby Burns from Decatur, Georgia. LSU struggling a bit on beam. Remember, Wegner already has a 9.275, so they can't afford one more fall if they hope to put up a solid score. Meanwhile, Florida on the floor exercise racking up some big numbers. 9.875 for Erica Selga.
That was a nice back handspring layout step out there. Switch split, wolf jump. Now, even though LSU is out of this competition as a team, their all-around ranking is at stake right now.
LSU coming in 14th in the country. They had hoped to move into the top 10 with a solid performance here.
She looks very comfortable up there on the beam. Really concentrating on what needs to be done. On the balance beam, they need to really focus on what they're doing and tune out everything that's going on around them. Now, that was a sheep jump, which is a very difficult move to do because you must take your eyes off the beam and look backwards towards your feet. She dismounts with a round off double twist.
So Abby Burns gets it done.
Here we see her preparing for the back handspring. Back handspring, layout, step out.
That's the move that is just astounding.
It is, because it's 3 moves in a row. Here's a sheep jump. She takes her eyes off the beam. And she ends with a very nice dismount. She focuses on getting the feet on the beam, pushing off, and double twisting. Good job for Abby.
You were talking about scores against Georgia a couple weeks ago. LSU had a 194-150, 9.825 for Abby Burns on the balance beam. So a good score for Burns. And let's go back to the floor and watch Betsy Hamm.
Next up, we go here to the floor exercise up there for Betsy Hamm.
All scores important. Remember, Florida going for a 196 if they can. And this woman could do it for them.
Now, Hamm made her first appearance on the floor lineup last week and scored a 9.9, which was the highest mark ever for a Florida gymnast making an event premiere. Opens with a whip, back handspring, double tuck. Amazing first tumbling pass. Now remember, this is only her 2nd time competing at Florida on this event. Second pass, she does a double tuck.
Looks like she's got it down for the 2nd time.
I think she does. She looks like she's having fun out there. And she makes everything look so easy.
She's really got a smoothness about her.
Very nice. There she shows her flexibility. Now, as you see the gymnasts doing leaps in the air in a split position, know that they are seriously training on their flexibility during practice. That's an important part of practice. A painful part of practice, but an important part.
Is there a fun part of gymnastics practice?
I think probably the results you get after competing.
Okay. Wow.
Very nice.
She's got some pizzazz.
That she does. Not bad for a 2nd performance.
Terrific. Betsy Hamm, the pride of Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Here she goes for her first pass. She does whip, back handspring into a double tuck somersault. Excellent.
Nice job.
Here we are on her 2nd tumbling pass. She does a great level of difficulty in this routine. She does a double tuck somersault, near perfect landing. And let's take a look at this last tumbling pass. She's very consistency with her difficulty. Half, full. Great.
She had a 9.9 last week in her debut. Will she beat that? We'll find out when we come back. Chris Marlowe and Kim Anthony. Let's get back to the balance beam. LSU. We'll continue with Stephanie Hyatt. Remember the 1995 Canadian national team.
Her career high on this event is a 9.9. Here she shows a great deal of strength in the plunge move. Very difficult to do.
Betsy Hamm, 9.875 for her routine.
Switch split, straddle jump. The leap series there. Now remember, the more elements you do in a row, the harder it is to stay on the beam. Back handspring layout. Now that's the 2nd wobble in the routine, and that may touch on her all-around standings. Split jump back handspring with a half. And she holds the handstand, showing a great sense of balance there. Concentrating. She does a round-off double tuck, and she nails the routine. Now, even though those bobbles seem to be something little, when you're in an all-around competition like this, it may mean a lot.
No such thing as a little bobble when you're up there. You say, oh, you just had a little bobble, but that's a wobble.
That's a wobble. Here's the dismount coming up. Very difficult. Round off, double tuck somersault. But she did finish strong.
LSU has a history of a Canadian pipeline. Larissa Lowing, the first Canadian to come down and compete for LSU. She's now an assistant coach, so they have that. And there is Betsy Hamm, 9.875 for her routine. Second one ever. Oh, she's going to be a big star here for 4 years.
I think so.
Hi, everyone in Wisconsin.
She's starting early, and
she might have your job one day there, Kim. Of course, she'd have to win a couple all-around titles before she does that. 9.75 on the beam for Stephanie Hyatt. Let's go back to the floor. And it's Chrissy Van Fleet.
Now, Chrissy is ranked 9th in the nation on this event. And she's also an All-American on this event.
He's got more floor exercise. This time is Chrissy Van Fleet.
If you're wondering about Florida doing well in this event, they are. They're the 3rd-ranked team in the nation, and they are putting up big scores. Everyone has scored over a 9.8 in this event.
Now, this is probably the most relaxation she'll get through this whole routine. Very dramatic performer we have here tonight. And she opens with a round-off whip to the double tuck. Very clean tumbling pass. She sets up for the second tumbling pass, really focusing on getting lots of power into that double pike somersault.
Up high.
Now, some of you may be wondering, how do these women get so high up in the air? Weight training is definitely a part of their workout to gain leg strength. So these women are doing more than just coming into a gym and doing gymnastics. They're lifting weights, they're doing flexibility training, they're doing endurance training. And all of these things are very important to the sport.
There was the gator chop.
She ends with a handspring front full. And she goes back to relax.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that first tumbling pass. She does round-off whip, back handspring, double tuck, and look at this landing. Perfect. That second pass, she's a little winded there, but she manages to pull out a beautiful double pike somersault. It looks effortless. The gator chomp, right before the last pass. Really putting all of her energy into this. She does a handspring front, full twist. Good landing, and she's happy with that. Nice, strong finish for Chrissy.
She's a fun woman. I was told that she had an offer to play Minnie Mouse in the Disney World parade, a job offer, but she decided to be a lifeguard instead at Wet n Wild. She's a kind of a fun-loving
Well, I guess you have to have a certain personality to play Minnie Mouse, huh?
And untaping right there. Yes, this sport is very, very taxing on your ankles. Did you come out with any serious injuries?
Out of
besides
all of
the brain? No.
Hey. I was very fortunate to have never broken a bone my whole time in the sport, which is not an easy thing to do.
Waiting for the score for Florida's Chrissy Van Fleet. The lowest score Florida has recorded on the floor tonight, 9.825 for Teal Shaboti. Amy McClosky, she's going to need a 9.86 on the beam to win the all-around title. So the all-around still up for grabs, and the pressure is on. So we'll come back right after this. Amy McClosky goes for the all-around title.
When
Chrissy Van Fleet, the crowd booing it, 9.750. They think that's low.
I think that's low.
All right. Now, LSU's Amy McClosky, a way to save a little face for the Tigers. She had 6 all-around titles last year. Her career best, 39.525, and she's on the beam in her final routine.
She mounts with a layout step out, a very difficult mount. She does a Russian front. Very nice. And the thing to watch in this routine is her acrobatic series. With the wolf jump. She's off to a very solid start. This is very good for LSU.
Florida's won the team competition. This is all that's left. Can Amy McClosky of LSU get a 9.86 on this routine?
By handspring layout, layout, step out. Again, she does the 3 moves in a row. A little turn on the knees there. So much training goes into working this event. The gymnasts spend hours.
More than any other apparatus, correct?
I would think so. And of course, it depends upon the gymnast. But beam is probably the hardest event of them all. You can see the intense concentration in her eyes. She does a round off double twisting, layout somersault.
That might do it. Keep in mind, she needs a 9.86 to take the all-around title. Do the judges score higher or lower when you're on the road?
I think the home team usually scores a little higher.
Okay.
Normally. Here we're mounting with a round off layout. She's going onto the beam without being able to see it. And she lands perfectly. She does the 3 in a row. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Very nicely done. She keeps the center of gravity over the beam. She will dismount with a round off double twist. Nice form, nice tight body. She brings it all the way around and she lands it.
She needs a 9.86. And she gets a 9.925. So Amy McClosky saves the day for the LSU Tigers. She wins the all-around with a clutch performance coming on beam. No tougher feat in all of gymnastics. On the road, she pulls out a great beam routine to take the all-around. Our last competitor in this meet, Susan Hines on floor. Boy, Florida is just piling up the points on floor. They're headed for a 1.96.
Now Susan is ranked 8th in the nation on this event. And she has a career high of 9.95.
If she gets a 9.6, Florida has scored 49 on each of the 4 disciplines.
And in order to do that, probably all she needs to do is to stay on that floor.
Don't fall down.
And right, don't fall down.
A 196 team score would really send a message across the country that the Florida Gators are for real.
She does a front layout into a front full. Very difficult move, which adds bonus points to the routine. Second time we've had double tuck somersault. The crowd is really getting into the music. This is a very fun routine to watch. I think those are some of the moves from the video. She's coming home for the trip. And she ends with a front full punch front. Nice strong finish.
Susan Hines. Oh yeah. Judy Markell. Feeling it. Her assistants Rob Moore and Dennis Harrison. Fans clamoring for a 10. I don't think she'll get that, but she will get a good score.
Here's the first pass. She really gets that energy together. Handspring front layout, front full. Very nicely done. She's really gathering all her energy together for the last pass here. She does a handspring front full twist into a punch front. Judy Markell is very pleased with that one.
She believes that this is her best Florida team ever. And a 9.95. Wow. For Susan Hines. So the judge is a little bit delirious about the Gators. A big one for Florida. Finishing with a flourish on the floor are the Gators. We'll be back. Impressive night for the University of Florida. The Gators bury the Tigers 196-625 to 194-025. The all-around winner, LSU's Amy McClosky, the 5'4" senior from Rockwall, Texas, finishes with 39-275. The all-around winner, Amy McClosky, and head coach Judy Markell are standing by with Kim.
Thanks, Chris. Judy, you have just proven to the entire country that you are well deserving of your fourth place finish. Can you tell me what this means to the Florida University team?
Well, it's pretty exciting, Kim, because, you know, we knew that we were going to be on national television tonight. We knew that we needed to prove to everybody that we were worth that ranking, and we performed well to do it. You know, I was excited because we hit our routines. We were real clean, but yet we can be better, so I'm real excited about the future.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us. Amy, can you tell me exactly what you were thinking when you're coming into the meet? And tell me if you believe that you could win this all-around title tonight.
I was just ready. I came in here just wanting to hit. I didn't have any expectations of what I wanted to place or how the team was going to finish. We were just focusing on hitting.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Chris, back to you.
All right, Florida records the highest score of the year for the Gators, the fourth best in the country, the best score at the O-Dome ever for the University of Florida, and a season best on every event as a team. Once again, the final score, the Florida Gators score 196-625 and beat LSU. Hope you enjoyed it from Gainesville, Florida. For Kim Anthony, I'm Chris Marlowe. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports.